So what I want to do is show you just our few master tips before the holidays on short story writing. Let's have a look. First of all, the story needs to cover 60 seconds, not 60 days, 60 weeks, 60 years, okay? Your story covers a minute of real time. I know that messes with your head because you think, how can I possibly tell a story, a good story, in 60 seconds? It's impossible. It is absolutely possible. Remember the examples I told you about. You have the goalie saving a goal. He's already in position, waiting for that penalty kick. That's 1 minute of real time. That makes a great, gripping, short story. Maybe there's an explorer who makes an important discovery. You make them already there at the place, ready to discover it. They, not that whole how they got there and the ship ride over. All that other stuff isn't necessary. That's for longer stories, okay? We're teaching about short stories. 3 or 4 things, remember? 3 or 4 things happen. The goalie's standing there. The player gets ready to kick the ball. The goalie thinks about last time they were in this position. Not much happens in a short story. We've got to start near the end, which I've said. One main character, happening in one place, facing one problem. Ends with a cliffhanger or a twist. And interestingly, you'll have some teachers that say, I don't like cliffhangers, don't do cliffhangers. Okay. I don't like the twist. Okay. It really is personal opinion. I personally like the cliffhanger or twist. I don't care how a student ends their story. As long as I've been entertained, I'm happy. We need a great start and a great idea at the beginning. Here are your paragraphs. The who, the where, the flashback. Remember, these 3 paragraphs, we practiced these last year. These 3 paragraphs are interchangeable. They can go in any order. The now, the rising tension, the climax, and the resolution, no, they're in order. All right, so we know how to do the structure of a short story, but at the same time, we need to watch for our small words. We don't want too many of them. We've got to make sure our verbs aren't all grade 1 verbs. Make them a little bit more sophisticated. We want to use powerful adjectives in 1s, 2s, and 3s. Sometimes adjectives come in single form, sometimes they're in double form. Rarely, they're in triple form. We want to vary our sentence length. We want to vary our sentence starts. Where start, when start, why start, verb start. And like I said, we need a great idea. There's a lot to think about. When we run the course, we teach students that writing a great short story is about 100 decisions. There is so much to decide upon. But typically what you're used to at school, I'm just going to write, whatever comes to my head. Remember, that's using the occipital lobe and does not result in great stories. Your teacher might tell you, oh, that was so good, I'm giving you an A. Okay, I understand that. Because in my opinion, in certain schools, the A standard of a story is pretty low. As long as you've got capitals, some adjectives here and there, your sentences make sense, the teacher might give you an A. But it's not good enough when you get in the older grades, especially in high school, especially in senior. So we teach you beyond grade 11 and 12, okay? This gives you the potential to write fantastic stories. And there's the other things like literary devices, similes, metaphors, a whole bunch of other things that go into making a great story, which we learn about here. But that would get you a start. All right. We're going to be writing something down, taking an example. So if you have your homework sheet, turn it over. I want to show you how to do something. In case you're going to have a go at this, get ready to write this example down. Here we have the paragraph, the typical paragraph. And you know how we've introduced to you action sentences, thought and feeling sentences, story sentences, atmosphere sentences, description sentences. I find people still muddle them up. By the way, the 6th is dialogue under there, but we're not doing dialogue at the moment. So, I need an idea, a simple idea. Let's go with child wants to buy an ice cream. Thanks, Tim. Child wants to buy an ice cream. That's our idea. That's all. The child just wants to buy an ice cream. But what about the helicopters? What about the ninjas that come into the ice cream store? No. That's long stories you're trying to squish. This is a short story. Child wants to buy an ice cream. So action. Here we go. Write this down. For an action sentence, we could have Michaela, M-E-K-A-Y-L-A. Michaela. I like to spell things differently so people don't go, oh, that's my name, you use my name. Well, hopefully no one in this room is called Michaela. Okay. Michaela stepped into the ice cream store and chose a seat next to her favourite window. Full stop. That's all she's done. She's gone in and sat down. That's the action. Okay? It's that simple, my friends. Just pick something that the character did. Michaela stepped into the ice cream store and chose a seat next to her favourite window. So now her thought and feeling. And this is where student writing suffers. What are they thinking? Oh, that's a nice window. Okay, the character might be thinking that's a nice window, but your reader thinks that's a boring sentence. So please understand the difference. You are writing for a reader. You're writing to entertain them. So think of something that's going to make your reader go, oh, that's interesting. And your character thinking about, oh, that's a nice window, is not interesting. Look at all the flavours up there. That is also not interesting. She's got to be thinking something. So I'm going to make up a little bit of drama in her life, and that's what she's thinking about right now. She thought of ordering a double chocolate to help ease her troubled mind. See, it's a thought. She thought of ordering a double chocolate to help ease her troubled mind. Why does this work? Because the reader now is asking what question? What do you think the reader now is asking? What's the trouble? Exactly. Already, I've hooked the reader in. Okay, I've hooked the reader in. Because now they're wondering, oh, what was the trouble? Not, oh, that's a nice window. Now, a story sentence gives more detail about this or something else in the paragraph. I'm going to give more information on this double chocolate thing. And I'm thinking, what about a verb start? What about a where start? What about a when start? Remember, that's what we have to do. So for a when start, I'm going to add something like this. Last time when her nan was in hospital. Last time when her nan was in hospital, comma, she found... Now I need to name an ice cream flavour that has chocolate in it. I'm going to make it up. Last time when her nan was in hospital, she found the triple ripple soothed. She found the triple ripple soothed the situation. I didn't want to say soothe her soul because up here I've got ease her troubled mind. I didn't want to do a little bit of repetition there, so I made it slightly different. Atmosphere. Atmosphere is something going on around the character. Let's recap. I have the character doing one action. They go and sit in the booth near their favourite window. They're thinking about their troubles, so they want to order a double chocolate. Let's add a few more details of that because her nan was in hospital. Oh, I wonder what's happening now. These ideas of different sentences are quite easy. I hope you're understanding that. They're not difficult, and this is what authors do. It's why authors' writing stands out from typical student writing. And if you follow this process, your writing will stand out from your classmates, which is what we want. We want that difference. So atmosphere, something's going on. I'm going to have music playing through the speakers in the ceiling. I was going to go jukebox over in the corner, but that might be a little bit too corny. So I've got a when. I'm now going to put a where. So above her. Above her, the speakers played. All right, who can give me a song that most people... Actually, no, I don't want that. I want a song that your teacher will know. So roughly, how old are your teachers? Hands up if you think your teachers are roughly 30. 40? 50? Over 100? Okay, let's go 30. So we're looking at 90s music. One of the biggest bands from the 90s was the Backstreet Boys. So I'm going to make the song I Want It That Way. So to show the teacher a little bit of punctuation skill, Dimity's going to hit Command I, which is going to italicize the writing. Above her, the speakers played I Want It That Way, capital W's, capitals for each of the separate words, please. I want it that way. Command I, by, now for the Backstreet Boys, capitals again, the Backstreet Boys.
So, Mr. C, for the benefit of the children in the room, do you mind actually just singing that song?
Tell me why ain't nothing but a heartache. And you've got to bounce like this. Something, 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 something. I want it that way.
Nice.
See, this is how they used to dance in the 90s. That's when I could dance. Anything else, I can't do. All right, above her, the speakers played I Want It That Way by the Backstreet Boys. A little bit of atmosphere. Now, description. I'm thinking that the board, the ice cream board, might offer some description. Okay, behind the counter, comma, the ice cream, the flavour menu board, because I said ice cream up there, I'm going with the word flavour. Behind the counter board, the flavour menu board lit up like a pink and blue Christmas tree. Lit up like a pink and, it's C, capital C for Christmas. It's a scribbling ice cream shop, pink and blue, obviously.
No, I thought that.
The flavour menu board lit up like a pink and blue Christmas tree, displaying how many flavours? Baskins has how many? 31. Scribble Ink ice cream will have more. Displaying 77. Spell all numbers under 100 we spell with a hyphen. Displaying 77. Now I've said flavours, flavour menu board, displaying 77 unique and tasty creamy treats. Full stop. Excellent. So that makes a paragraph, friends. When you're doing the now or the rising tension or the climax, because remember, we've taught you how to do a professional character paragraph. We've taught you how to do a professional where paragraph. Maybe even in the flashback, you could do this. But please understand, I need to make this point. Not every paragraph is that structure. That would be too predictable, too repetitive, too boring. In the rising tension, of course, you might want 3 or 4 action sentences with an atmosphere and a thought feeling. Maybe leave out story and description. You need to make those decisions as an author, what you feel needs to belong in the paragraph. But we need to point this out. Biggest problem with your writing is the overuse of action sentences, because The occipital lobe takes over and it's responsible for visualization. So your brain sees this happening, this happening, this happening, this happening, this happening, and consequently you're left with a list of actions, a list of events, and that's not a short story, but some of you are still receiving A's for that sort of stuff. So when you start doing this, what mark could you possibly get? What wizardry could the teacher conjure to mark a story that is better than the A? Plus, 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 A plus, 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 possible?
Z.
I think Z.
Oh yeah.
Be a Z nation, we'd be a Z nation. If we're going to call our class something, we're Z nation. I don't know how to spell it though. All right, you can put that away, grab out your scribble book. Remember, if you want to build a muscle, you know, like the bodybuilders, of which clearly I'm not, then you need to put that muscle under load, under stress. Get it to work hard. As it works hard, it begins to build, right? It's no different to your writing. Without thinking, there's no change being made to the brain. When you're doing the thinking, exactly following what we're asking you to do, the thinking is what's going to change the pathways in our brain, the neuron development. That's what we're after. That's why a lot of this stuff is challenging. Yeah, there's an easy way to do it, but that way won't improve the writing. It's the thinking that goes into this. Because remember, great writing comes from great thinking. Lazy thinking produces lazy writing. Okay, and that's a challenge. That's a challenge. It's why I think your parents have done a great job sending you here each week, because we force you to do some thinking. If without this practice, it's easy for the brain to get lazy and just follow the easy course, and that does not translate into quality writing. We're getting more reports this week of the improvement people are making from these masterclasses. It's awesome. We know it happens. We see it. We can tell. We can tell the work from you guys and people, for example, I've seen at schools who are doing it for the first time. You guys are way ahead, and that's because of the practice you've been doing. So we're excited about what's happening in your brains. All right, let's put that away. Open up your scribble book. Let's do a triple descriptor. That's the with its thing. You ready? The Scribblink Zoo I'd be the, I think I'd be the orangutan. Dinwood Bags being the meerkat, I'm sure. The Scribblink Zoo remained the most popular tourist attraction in Brisbane. Remained the most popular tourist attraction in Brisbane. The Scribblink Zoo remained the most popular tourist attraction in Brisbane. Notice I didn't say was. I said remained. The most popular tourist attraction in Brisbane, with its remained the most popular tourist attraction in Brisbane, with its vast array. Vast is V-A-S-T. Array is A-R-R-A-Y. Vast array of exotic animals. Thrilling rides. There's rides at our zoo. So we've got a vast array of exotic animals. We have thrilling rides and homework sheets for all child visitors. Yeah, that's why we're the most popular zoo in Brisbane. And homework sheets for all child visitors. But, yeah, you know, we do have those signs there that you must be under this line to pick up a homework sheet. Okay, anyone above that line doesn't need one. All right, that's our triple descriptor. Someone read it out to me.
The Scribblink Zoo remained the most most popular tourist attraction in Brisbane, with its vast array of exotic animals, thrilling rides and homework sheets for all child visitors.
That's excellent. I love it. All right, let's work on the next one. And if you're doing this at home, happy practice. Well, we need a tagline. What is it? Happy scribbling?
Yeah, happy scribbling is good.
Happy scribbling. Can we put one of those shiny teeth things? Ding.
See what I can do.